Kashimo is one of the most underrated characters in Jujutsu Kaisen, despite being one of the strongest sorcerers in the verse. People tend to forget he lived 400 years ago, and in his time he was the strongest, and one of the only few sorcerers to live to old age. He most definitely also pulled lots of women. Cause. Why am I seeing a Reddit post saying Kashimo died a virgin? If you were Kashimo the strongest, and nobody could touch you, wouldn't you just be fucking around? Overall, it's safe to say that Kashimo is just that guy, so let's get to the topic at hand. Kashimo saved Jujutsu Kaisen. Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today we will be talking about how Kashimo is truly the MVP that really led to the defeat of Sukuna. If you're watching this video, you're most likely thinking Kashimo got one-shotted by Sukuna and died glazing him. How did he save Jujutsu Kaisen? So let's revisit chapter 237 as Kashimo dives towards Sukuna, swinging his staff at him, and Sukuna is able to react. But when Kashimo pulled out his ace card and got serious, this is where things started to kick off. Before we move on, I need you to know how Kashimo's technique works first. Kashimo's cursed energy isn't like other sorcerers. It has electric properties, so it's basically a cursed technique on itself. In simpler terms, lightning turned into cursed energy. When he activates his cursed technique, it unlocks the latent potential of his cursed energy, and he gains all the phenomena prowess surrounding lightning. He can scream as loud as lightning. His cursed energy is hot as lightning, and he surpasses his body limits to the point of destruction, which is the reason, after activation, he gives Sukuna the meanest right hook to the face, and Sukuna a few seconds later was able to keep up with ease. And now Sukuna begins to struggle greatly. As Kashimo shoots waves at him, Sukuna barely avoids them, and his other lightning attacks. And with time, it seems Kashimo is getting faster as he lands another right hook on Sukuna, and this is the vital moment where Kashimo saved Jujutsu Kaisen. Kashimo forcing Sukuna to use his true form saved Jujutsu Kaisen, because imagine if Kashimo wasn't there to fight Sukuna after Gojo had been killed. It would be a fatigued Sukuna versus Higurama and Itadori, but Sukuna wouldn't be using his true form. He would hold his own against Itadori and Higurama without having to use his true form, since Sukuna was able to keep up with Kashimo, someone who uses electromagnetic waves to attack. Itadori and Higurama wouldn't be able to push Sukuna to where he would use his true form at this point. Higurama would be dead or gravely injured due to his lack of battle experience, and Kusakabe would step in to protect Higurama if he is alive, as he is their only shot of killing Sukuna. Others will enter the battlefield, that being Choso, who won't change the tides of the battle, much as Sukuna will simply be toying with everyone. But Sukuna, enthralled by Higurama, would seclude Higurama and fight him one-on-one and eventually dispose of him. The only one capable of giving Sukuna remotely a challenge at all here would be Itadori. Choso would be next to be put out of commission when approaching Sukuna, and Kusakabe would be able to decrease the attack potency of Sukuna's attacks. Oh, and Shiesty Sorcerer, he's getting bodied, Jit ain't doing shit. So it would be one-on-one, a still fatigued Sukuna versus Itadori, and that's me assuming throughout the whole fight a somewhat stressed Sukuna in a 5 versus 1 and is already fatigued does not land a black flash throughout the whole battle before he goes one-on-one with Itadori. Now, we have to realize when Sukuna used his true form and he was fighting all 5 of them, he was toying with them and had a free health pack, so he wasn't stressed at all. To the point, he was choosing who he wanted to face one-on-one, controlling the whole fight. Sukuna, without his true form, would have definitely landed a black flash with the stress and recovered his output. Now, as Sukuna fights Itadori one-on-one, it would still be relatively one-sided, but Itadori would hold his own until Yuta came, and everyone else would be killed. That being Shiesty Sorcerer Choso Higurama, because Sukuna wouldn't be toying around without his true form. He'd take them a bit more seriously. Then Yuta pulls up to 2 versus 1 Sukuna with Itadori and Thats. When Sukuna, my friends, would use his true form. The only one capable of having Sukuna pop his true form at this moment would be Yuta, as he is relative to Hakari, as stated by Gocho, and Hakari is relative to Kashimo, as they fought on equal footing earlier. And at this point, the most valuable fighters would be dead or extremely tired, while Sukuna just got back to full HP with more health, 4 arms, more output, bigger meat, and more. So Sukuna would just straight up give everyone back shots because he wouldn't be fatigued, and he would be stronger than ever, as his cursed energy output would be even greater. If my boy Kashimo hadn't pushed Sukuna to use his true form from the get-go, the battle at Shinjuku would have just been a massacre, with Sukuna controlling the entire tide of the battle. Shit's actually crazy Kashimo deadass clutched. So, before you call Kashimo a bum or a glazer, think to yourself. Without him, everyone else would have been cooked. Anyways, if you enjoy videos like this, feel free to like and subscribe. You get more videos and we will both be happy.